With the NFL just a couple weeks away, we want to talk about an MVP. Is Joe Burrow the early favorite, or should he be the early favorite to win MVP this upcoming NFL season? And we put it down to just two teams. Who has the better chance to make the playoffs? The Cardinals or the Falcons? Me and Steve are gonna talk about it and break it down, but you gotta hit the music first.
Welcome to your number one spot for all NFL news and content, NFL Central.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back into another episode of NFL Central, your number one spot for everything NFL. I'm your host here, Bobby, joined by Stevo. So if y'all tuned in and liking, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe. Stevo, what's the word?
What's good? What's good?
But hey, Steve-O, Josh Allen got himself his first MVP after Lamar winning got his. But hey, a lot has been talked about with Joe Burrow these last few seasons, especially last season, about how he put up these crazy stats, which he did, but he missed the playoffs. And a lot of people are expecting him to come out this season and pretty much duplicating that and just crying to God, asking the Lord himself if the defense will show up for Joe Burrow. So I'm going to just go ahead and ask you straight up. Should Joe Burrow be the early favorite for MVP? And if not, who you got?
I mean, don't get it wrong. He can, because it's like all the stats show that he can. Like he puts up numbers. He almost gave up 5K total yards like last year in the air. So like he has the capabilities to do it. But we all know like you can't just you can't only just be, you know, that good when it comes to stats alone. You know, it's always a double-edged sword when it comes to this thing. And if you ain't productive on the winning side as well, unfortunately, you're not gonna win the whole. You're not going to get the votes, I should say, to win the whole thing. And we've seen this countless of times. Winning is a part of this ordeal, and you know, it's depending on who's having the conversation. It argues that winning or not stats should be the ones that determine who should be the MVP or not. And if we go on stats alone, the hell yeah, he's definitely going to be in that conversation for sure. But I just don't think he's going to be at the bottom of that conversation if it is, because you just don't know what the team gonna look like, and the past has shown us the team ain't getting the job done, especially now that you don't know you knew got your rookie edge in, but your main edge rusher and Trey Hendrickson still is up in the air.
I think that's a fair point. I think that for when it comes to Joe Burrow, for him to get that MVP, Steve-O, I'm going to just be straightforward. If Joe Burrow wants that MVP, he got to come out the gate hot. The Cincinnati Bengals can no longer start their season 0 and whatever, or 1 and 2, or 1 and 3. They can no longer do that. If Joe Burrow wants an opportunity to win himself an MVP, I got to see a streak of 5, 6, 7 and 0. And it'll be very, very impressive if they can do something like that, Steve-O, because to start the season, they go against the Browns, then the Jags, Minnesota, who's decent. You just got questions with the quarterback. Then you got Broncos, Lions, Packers, Steelers, Jets. If you can come out and you just go on a hot streak and you don't even got to probably be undefeated, but let's just say you're a couple games above 500 at least in that span of time, you will start getting your name in those early conversations. But then the biggest thing that's going to have to help determine it, you got to win a division. The Baltimore Rams have dominated the AFC North the last
Ravens.
Great, yeah. The Ravens. The Baltimore Ravens have dominated the AFC North forever. So you got to go out there and you got to take care of business, bro. And Steve-O, I ain't even going to lie to you. I'm going to throw it back to you after I say this. My man's Lamar Jackson put up a hell of a season last season. 4,100 yards, 41 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 900-yard rushing. And they gave it to Josh Allen. He had some good numbers, but yeah, I don't think he had the season that Lamar Jackson had. So I think that the voters probably want to give it to somebody else. So I think it's Joe Burrow's to lose.
It is his to lose because, but at the same time, you still got unpredictable factors because like you had last year, nobody knew what was going to happen when you got the goddamn one boy wonder coming into Washington and Daniels having the year that he has, and then you also got the guys that is commonly in that conversation. Lamar this close from winning that shit. You
Literally.
also had your running backs that's coming out the woodworks and Saquon, Derrick Henry, and others that's making a case for themselves. You also got some edge rushers. Like, you know, I also think that we're going to get to a point where, especially now, last year we got close to it breaking it up officially, but we're going to get to a point where it's going to get to a point where somebody outside of the position of the quarterback is going to win. And I think in the next few years, it's possible that it can happen because, like I said, it was so close to happening last year. A lot of people was up in arms that Saquon wasn't gonna get it. Quite frankly, I was one of those people. Ain't too many people getting 2,000 yards as a running back, and the way he did it, yeah, he got a O line to do it, but he did that shit in crazy fashion. So it's like, yeah, it's his to lose, but Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, hell, like people even like Justin Herbert, Jaden Daniels. It's still people that that can have a hell of a season that can come out of nowhere because these crazy number stats is not crazy no more. Like people getting 4,000 in they sleep.
Yeah, because Baker Mayfield, I think the last 2 seasons he threw over four
Right.
thousand, and I don't even think they placed him in like the top five of voted. But
Yeah.
I think it's based on who GMs and all these voters who they like more. It's like the discussion we always talk about with Justin Herbert. Very very talented, but nothing really to show for it. Like I'm not gonna sell the man short and not say that he's not talented, but he ain't got much to show for all that talent. But Stevo, just for adding context to the last person, at least that I can remember, or at least a running back, the last running back to win MVP was Adrian Peterson in 2012.
Yeah.
And I'm with you. We could definitely have that discussion. And I think everybody will agree. If Saquon Barkley goes out and played that, I think it was the last game, if he just went out there and played that last game and he breaks that record, I think they had no choice but to grant him that MVP over Josh Allen. But it didn't happen. So it is what it is. But I agree with you. I think that we will come to a point to where we potentially see a running back be able to get that MVP thing because Jalen Hurts didn't even throw for 3,000 yards last year.
Yeah.
Saquon Barkley was a huge factor to that Eagles offense and to their success. So if you see something like that, a Derrick Henry come out of, you know what I'm saying, handle business, or maybe a Bijan, I'm not saying that he gonna do it this season, but maybe down the
It's
road you
possible.
see something like that. It's very, very possible. So I agree with you. I think it's that.
And these edges, like these edges is getting dangerous and more dangerous. And they like it's gonna be somebody that's gonna have. I think somebody, especially at the edge position, is due for an MVP like season. I think a lot of them been good and having elite seasons, but we ain't really had a crazy season really in a while. So I think somebody due for one. I don't know who it's gonna be. Hopefully it's Michael, but shit, it'll be nice to see.
Hey, that boy Micah, they asked Micah, they asked Micah some questions. He said, I ain't got nothing to
I ain't
say.
gonna say.
I'm with you. I ain't got nothing to
Still
say.
stands.
Get my
Everything
money.
still stands.
You get my money, you trade me, then I might have something to say. As it currently stands, Jerry Jones said this is a soap opera. So we just gonna let it be a soap opera. I ain't got nothing to say.
It's weekly.
On the real. It's a soap opera. That whole situation is just ridiculous within itself. This man just literally flat out and just told everybody, if you ain't talking about the Dallas Cowboys, I'm gonna do something to get y'all talking about us. Hold on, what?
Bro, what happened to winning? Like, what happened to football?
You know it's bad when Denzel Washington got to come on TV and say something.
Hey, Jerry. He get on that boss. Hey, Jerry, it's a lot of things I like to do for you, dog, but I can't fool with you right here, dog. Hey, Jake just want to play football. Hey, Jake.
Hell no. But hey, we'll see what's up with Joe Burrow this upcoming season, man. It's definitely gonna be a interesting season. It's definitely parity that they done created around this NFL season. Because honestly, like you said, Stevo, there's a lot of names to throw in this. We talked about Justin Herbert, Jaden Daniels. Hell, who knows what JJ McCarthy? I'm not saying they're gonna do it, but who knows what type of season they're gonna have? Hell, Matthew Stafford with his therapy bus outside the practice field might do something. I'm just saying. So we'll see what happens, but y'all let us know y'all thoughts and everything down below. Steve-O, now I broke this thing down because I want this to be a good dialogue. My brother, who has the better chance to make the playoffs? The Falcons or the Cardinals? The Cardinals, they went out there and they made a lot of improvements to the defensive side of the ball, something that me and you discussed in very a lot of detail about the improvements that they made on the defensive side already being solid on the offensive side, or the Atlanta Falcons who went out there and got themselves a young quarterback, let him sit, put him in, he looked good, made some improvements to the pass rush. We're going out there in the draft and getting some young talent. But hey, it's gonna come down to it. Who you got? The Cardinals or the Falcons? Better chance to make the playoffs.
Like my heart wants to say the Cardinals. It's just for one, this whole conversation goes down to who the quarterback, and I just don't think Kyler is still learning. He hasn't fixed the things that we all know that he needs to fix. And I know it was the first game of the preseason. But to stare down that pick the way he did, it just keeps showing to me like, bro, you're not reading defense you should be doing. It's year what, 4, 5?
He been in the league for a while.
You can't be in the league that year making those type of those. Was that not a pick six as well? A pick six. If it was not, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was a pick six in the preseason game one. You already probably only get a chance to throw the ball 7 times as a total. It just the problems still remain and the concerns still remain for Kyler Murray versus Penix is young, but Penix still got everything that you will want out of a quarterback, and the concerns that you have about him ain't the concerns. Is nowhere near the concerns that you had about Kyler Murray. Penix has never been this super. I've been the top quarterback in the country coming out of high school guy. He wasn't the guy that is freak athlete or I can run around the field. No, he was out there. I got a decent arm. I'm a decent enough athlete. I can make precise throws. I'm read defense. I understand coverage. And I think that style of a profile and that style of quarterback, especially in the big games, is what's gonna win you the big games. And then when you look at the conference they in, ain't too many people he got to worry about in that conference. My guess, who's more stable as well, I will lean towards Atlanta. All signs just on paper is showing that Atlanta should be that guy, but it all depends on the productivity of their quarterback.
That's the same damn way I'm feeling, bro. I brought the topic to think that we was gonna have a back and forth, but I couldn't agree with you more. I think that it all comes down to Kyler Murray. We seen on the one season that they made the playoffs, Kyler Murray started off hot, started off playing well. He ended up injured. And every single season, he starts off well and then he gets injured. He is one of those smaller quarterbacks.
Yeah.
A lot of the times he throws the ball pretty damn well. But it seemed like once he gets it going and he's good for a couple games, all the ankle fucked up again. And
Or
it could
knee.
be, you know what I'm saying? It could be contributed to a number of things. And I think that they have a strong chance to come out the AFC West, at least as a wild card, because I still got the Rams as the winner in that division. Because I think Jimmy Garoppolo can hold it down at least for a couple games and buy Matthew Stafford a little bit more time. But when you compare them to the Atlanta Falcons, I got to say the Atlanta Falcons has a better chance to make the playoffs simply because I'm looking at the offense. I think the offense is going to do really, really well. Then they went out there and made major improvements and going in a draft and being aggressive and drafting 2 pass rushers. And then Raheem Morris, I believe I believe he's a solid coach. Obviously, we got to see more out of him.
Good
But
online.
yeah, the O line is solid. And then the run game and all the weapons on the offensive side, you got to add on to that discussion as well. I think the Atlanta Hawks, why am I thinking basketball? The Atlanta Falcons, the Atlanta Falcons, bro. I think they in a softer division. I think even though my doubts on the San Francisco 49ers is there, I don't necessarily know what the Seattle Seahawks is going to be there. I still think that those teams in the NFC West are going to beat each other up more so than the teams in the NFC South. So I got to go with the Atlanta Falcons on this discussion simply because I think that they got a lot on offense. The defense is going to be good, and they playing within a division that they can really, you know what I'm saying, make some noise in. You can go against and match up well versus the Bucks. The Carolina Panthers, we trying to see what they're gonna do. They improve, but we still know, we don't know. And the Saints, dog water. Come on now.
Stupid.
Come on now.
They looking stupid and stupider now against Shador.
Trying to tell them. I'm trying to tell them. So hey, as much as we want it to be a back and forth,
I
to,
mean,
to
I
get it
wanted,
going,
like, I truly wanted to
gotta keep
put,
it
I
being.
wanted to pick, but if you just think about it, chemistry wise, who been together longer? Atlanta. Who got more vets? Atlanta. Who got more talent? Atlanta. You got. It's so many. It's so many, and then there's so many storylines with Atlanta. Drake May just had the best season of his career. Kyler Murray. I mean, not Kyler Murray.
Not Drake May.
Pitts
Drake
is.
London.
I mean, Drake London. Who I say?
Drake May.
Drake May. Drake London. Kyle Pitts is due for a fucking breakout
Darnell
at
Mooney
any
look
time,
good.
but he still look good. Mooney
Was cooking with Kirk
looking
Cousins. I was
good,
like, hold on.
as well as the little return man, and they got doing his look as the slot. Him. But yeah, so many things, and then you got a dynamic, whatever the hell. I don't even call him a running back because he's more than that. But Bijan or Bajan, whatever you want to call him, because apparently we've been saying his name. I think it's Bajan.
Man, you
But
better get the hell
you
out of
got Bajan, you
here.
got Drake, Darnell, you got an O line. You just and then you got art. You get everything, the coaching, everything. Like I said, I want to pick. I want to pick. I really do want to pick Arizona, but they still in the midst of their rebuilding. Coaching still proving themselves. Coaching staff still proving themselves. They got James Conner, so they running game is there.
He good.
Quarterback, they got a quarterback, but like you said, he can't stay on the field, and then sometimes he on or off. And then wide receivers, you got Marvin, you got a tight end, but
Mm-hmm.
it's much to desire. And then your defense, that's the problem.
Yeah, they still trying to figure it out over there.
So
They
that's
is.
my thing. Like you can't. That's my like, especially if you got a defense, especially in that conference. They gonna be throwing and running all over that conference, so it's gonna be difficult. So, like I said, if I gotta take my pick, I'm taking the guys. They got the run game, they got the better defense, and they got the better online. I'm going Atlanta.
For sure. And I want to make it clear. I think both of these teams can make it to the playoffs. I
Mm-hmm.
just think who has the better chance is going to be at the Atlanta Falcons. But my question to you is, how big is the loss of the center, Drew Dalman?
Very big because you lost well, for one, you lost. It was very key to if I was Atlanta, it would have been very key to get Drew Dalman, especially with me having a young quarterback.
Mm.
You see how it was important for us to get him because we had a young quarterback. So I think that's gonna take a hit, but it all depends. I don't know who they center now is, so it all depends on how good the center at communicating and production is now. But yeah, of course it's gonna take a hit when you taking an all pro in Drew Dalman.
I agree with that. I think that's definitely going to be something we got to keep our eyes open for. But again, once you compare the teams, I'm gonna get a nod to Atlanta. But again, both teams can still make the playoffs. Because I think the Cardinals right now, I trust them a little bit more than Seattle. And the Niners, boy, they motherfucking wide receivers dropping like flies around now. They putting people on IR. Guys not gonna be able to start at the season. They still waiting on guys to come back. Brandon Ayuk will not be available until week 6. It's tough over there for the Niners, bro. But hey, we made our case. We let y'all hear it. Y'all let us hear what y'all got to say, man. Who y'all think got a better chance of making it to the playoffs? The Atlanta Falcons or the Arizona Cardinals? Stevo, you got anything left, bro?
Now I'm ready for some goddamn football. I mean,
Hey,
fucking
the
win end of the
weekend
fucking week.
near. The end is near. It's cracking. But hey, we appreciate y'all for tuning in to another episode, man. That is it from us. Before y'all get up out of there, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, man. Let us know your thoughts and everything down below. We appreciate y'all. Make sure you always love football. Rep your team proud, man. Goddamn, we gonna talk a little smack about them as this season go on. You might be able to hear us talk smack about our own team. But nonetheless, we appreciate y'all, and y'all already know we're going to catch y'all on the next for sure.
This has been a presentation